Live from Fox 12 Oregon, this is Breaking News.
Good morning. Welcome to the 6 o'clock hour of Good Day Oregon. I'm Kimberly Moss.
And I'm Shauna Parsons. We do want to get right out to breaking news this morning. Portland police are looking for several armed suspects in the Laurelhurst neighborhood.
Fox 12's Amel El-Hel has been on scene since the news broke a few hours ago. Amel, good morning.
Good morning. Well, right now we are at Portland Police Southeast Precinct. Within just the last 20 minutes, that is where dozens of members of law enforcement have returned from that scene. And I say law enforcement because it's not just officers. We've seen sheriff's deputies and members of the SWAT team, as you can see there. And being at the scene earlier, you could see it garnered a huge response from police. And according to the Bureau of Emergency Communications incident map, over 50 units were called to that scene. Taking a few hours back, when the call for shots fired first came in around 2:30 for Northeast 82nd Avenue in Fremont. This is video of what that scene looked like. Again, it all started as shots fired, and it now has turned into police reporting armed suspects in the area. And being on scene, it is very clear they are searching for suspects. We've seen a lot of patrol cars with flashing lights on, various agencies on scene with armored vehicles, as well as drones in the sky. And in terms of traffic between Southeast Cesar Chavez Boulevard and Southeast 44th Avenue to East Burnside and Southeast Ash Street, all of that is blocked off right now. We are working to learn more information about this very active scene that is still developing. When we do get that information, we'll be sure to keep you updated. We'll toss it back to Tony now with more information on those roads that are closed right now.
Amel, just in the last couple of seconds here, we do have new information. Portland police tell us now that they have 3 suspects that have been detained in connection to this event. So again, 3 people have been detained at this point. I'm not sure how quickly that's going to change some of these closures. Likely it will relatively soon. But again, you'll still want to use extra caution in this area of East Burnside near 41st Avenue, and also that previous scene along Fremont at 82nd. But again, just here in the last couple of seconds, Portland police telling us that 3 people have been detained in connection to this police activity. Of course, we'll have much more on this coming up. Drew has our forecast.
Yeah, we're seeing a nice start to the day so far. Clear skies at the moment, but that is going to change. 61 degrees right now on our Portland Shriners Children's camera. Beautiful sunrise. Sunrise today, 5:45, but we are about to see it approach after that 6 a.m. Timing. That will be kind of that first week of August that we see that change. Today, temperatures much cooler, 75 degrees for our high, and we're actually going to be turning wet midday, some showers moving in. They don't last all that long, but maybe grab a sweatshirt for that. I'll have more on the rain that is going to be arriving before too long here in just a little bit. Kim and Shauna.
Drew, thank you. People living in the Park Rose and Argay Terrace neighborhoods of Portland spoke out at a community meeting with state and county officials, concerned that asbestos from an old Kmart building that burned last week will have lasting health impacts. Debris from that fire was recently tested by the Oregon Department of Environmental Quality. Fox 12's Mia Villanueva joins us in the studio with more on this. Good morning.
Kim, good morning. Audrey O'Brien from the Oregon Department of Environmental Quality shared some good news about the preliminary results after testing debris samples. But even after learning about the good news from those results, neighbors who live near the scene of the fire say there was a lack of communication during the entire investigation and that it incited more panic.
The preliminary analysis shows that for the physical samples that were collected, we're not seeing that asbestos is in those samples. What we've seen from the air monitoring is that there's not asbestos in the air monitoring results, or there's only trace amounts of asbestos in the air monitoring results.
And everybody's been really silent. That's really notable. You know, as a neighborhood, as a larger community of East Portland, we're pretty used to getting ignored. It kind of makes you wonder what we have to do or what we have to have happen to us in order to get the city to actually say, hey, we could at least offer some words to these folks.
It has been days since a major 4-alarm fire burned a former Kmart in Northeast Portland and sent ash and debris into yards, onto school properties, and into parks nearby. After learning debris found at Lewitt Park contained asbestos from the fire, dozens of people filled the Park Rose School District building in Northeast Portland on Sunday to learn more about what's being done to clean up and to share concerns about their health. They were told the company that oversees the property, Prologis, had asbestos cleared from the building in fall of 2022. The DEQ says Prologis has hired contractors to clear the building once again. Multnomah County's health officer, Teresa Everson, says she understands why people would be concerned about their health. She also says it takes prolonged exposure to see any health impacts from asbestos exposure. But again, based on recent testing, the DEQ sample collection showed there was no asbestos in the physical pieces of debris, and there's been little to no detection of asbestos in air samples. Now, the DEQ says they'll continue to monitor and test debris for asbestos within the impacted areas in Northeast Portland. Reporting live in studio, I'm Mia Villanueva. Good day, Oregon.
Mia, thank you. The Longview Fire Department says its crews are no longer needed at the site of a paper mill fire. This fire started on Tuesday night. We've covered it all week here on Good Day Oregon. It happened at Nippon Dynawave Packaging, sending a massive plume of smoke into the air, also creating air quality concerns. In its most recent update on Friday, firefighters said workers at the paper mill were monitoring it. The cause of this fire is under investigation and no one was hurt.
A fire damaged an elementary school in Southeast Portland, and it was all caught on camera. A Foxhole viewer took this video at Cherry Park School yesterday. That's on Southeast 104th Avenue in the David Douglas School District. Crews think the fire started in a porta potty and then spread to the school building. The fire did not burn inside the school. Firefighters were able to put the flames out. No one was hurt. It is not clear what caused the fire.
We are on fire watch this morning. We're tracking a wildfire that's now burned thousands of acres. In Klickitat County, the Newell Road fire is burning east of Goldendale, Washington. It's grown to more than 51,000 acres. It triggered a level 3 go now evacuation order for the Cleveland and Bickleton areas. As of this morning, there's no containment. Officials say a number of buildings have burned since the flames started overnight on Friday. That fire is also threatening solar and wind farms and a natural gas pipeline. For updates on the latest evacuation maps, you can visit the Klickitat County Sheriff's Office Facebook page. And if you have to leave your home because of the fire, the Red Cross has opened up a shelter at Goldendale Middle School. Also in Oregon, crews are fighting a fire near Fall Creek in the Willamette National Forest. The Bedrock fire was first reported on Saturday near the Bedrock Campground in the Middle Fork Fire Rangers District. Crews have been trying to contain it ever since. At last check, the flames had scorched about 300 acres, but an update on estimated acreage is expected today. The Lane County Sheriff's Office says while there are no evacuation notices, they're asking people to stay away from the Fall Creek area, including all campgrounds and surrounding roads. In Warm Springs in Central Oregon, crews are working to contain the Simnasho fire. The flames ignited on Thursday night on the Warm Springs Reservation, and since then, this fire has scorched more than 1,200 acres. Now, these flames are mostly burning in tall seasonal grass and brush. There's a mix of juniper and pine trees as well. This is east of Highway 26. The highway is now open from the junction, but authorities are warning drivers, use caution. Look up tripcheck.com for the very latest updates on the roads. They say weather is a factor with hot and dry conditions along with wind. As of this morning, crews have the Simnasho fire 25% contained. We're also tracking the Golden Fire. That started Saturday afternoon on Bly Mountain just east of Klamath Falls. Right now, that's burned about 2,500 acres near Bonanza. It's spreading rapidly to the east, though. It's threatening several buildings. Because of the flames, officials closed Highway 140 East and triggered level 3 go now evacuations. Oregon Governor Tina Kotek has invoked the Emergency Conflagration Act to allow the Oregon State Fire Marshal to mobilize more resources to protect life and property. The Red Cross has also opened up an evacuation shelter at Bonanza schools. As of this morning, the Golden Fire is 0% contained. If you'd like more information about these wildfires that are burning all across our area, you can find that on our website, kptv.com. Just look for the wildfire tab.
New at 6, a goat that was severely burned in a barn fire is expected to make a full recovery thanks to a team of veterinarians at Washington State University. Millie suffered severe burns to 70% of her body when the fire broke out in March. She was admitted to WSU's Veterinary Teaching Hospital. She underwent treatment for 3 months. Vets hosed her down with warm water to clean her wounds. They also fed her during her many bandage changes to keep her motivated and distracted. Millie was finally able to return home last month. WSU says Millie's hair follicles were significantly damaged, so she won't be able to grow all of her hair back. Because of that, she will need protection from direct sunlight. Other than that, she's expected to live a normal life.
All new at 6, we are meeting the man behind one of Portland's oldest restaurants, Huber's Cafe, and learning when he realized what a special place this cafe was.
It wasn't until I was a little bit older when I've traveled and I saw other restaurants, other old restaurants, that basically were just 4 walls. Here at Huber's, we have this mahogany paneling. We have this stained glass skylight. We have the Gothic arches.
We are going to have Tony's full conversation with James Louie in an all-new show and tell with Tony coming up in the next half hour of Good Day Oregon.
Boy, I can't wait to see that. I've spent some time there.
Yes, we all have.
Spanish coffees
Have you
are
been
iconic.
I have been for a Spanish coffee,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. I'm not sure if it's trickled down to every generation just yet. But
I can't wait to meet him.
Yeah. Oh, he's
same.
delightful.
That's
He's
great.
It's a must-see place if you were ever in Portland.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we've got a really nice morning so far. You can see some clouds in the sky, but those are really going to be increasing as we get a little bit later this morning. 61 degrees on our Rivermark Community Credit Union camera on top of the Portland Opera Building. We are cloudy and wet right now in Seaside on our Shiloh Inns camera. It's 57 degrees, and that rain has arrived along the coast, at least for the northern part of the coast. This is going to be, of course, approaching us here in the Willamette Valleys as we get a little bit later this morning, closer to lunchtime or so. But you can see we do already have measurable rainfall there in Astoria. Not much, but 1/100 of an inch, going to be a little bit wetter along the coast than we are here in the valleys today. Of course, we're going to see these clouds increasing as the wet weather starts to approach. And then, as I mentioned, kind of around lunchtime, maybe just before, that's where that wet weather starts to move into our valleys. And the Portland area is with us for a few hours. And then this evening, we're mostly dry. But I think there could still be a few really light showers around through the evening tonight and into later tonight. But by tomorrow morning, we'll be pretty much all dry, getting the clouds to start the day, but then those clear out to sunshine in the afternoon. And then we'll see temperatures starting to warm up quite a bit tomorrow. And then will be really nice for quite a bit of the week. Just some morning clouds at times, but we'll be seeing lots of sunshine. Not a ton of rain is coming today, but along the coast, I think we'll see somewhere close to 1/4 of an inch, maybe, especially to that northern part of the coast, not as wet around Newport. And then in Portland, we're expecting maybe a few 100ths of an inch to 1/10 of an inch on the west side of the metro area. Could be getting a little bit more rainfall. But as that wet weather approaches the Cascades, it's really going to lose any strength that it has to produce rainfall. We shouldn't be seeing much into the mountains or east of the Cascades. But we do expect that this is going to be ending our dry streak, which as of yesterday was now 34 days. So we've gone quite a while without any measurable rainfall. Today is the only day that we have rain in the forecast. And as I mentioned, much cooler. We expect temperatures about 75 degrees today. Tomorrow, we warm back to the 80s, right around 80 degrees as we get that afternoon sunshine. And we should be really comfortable for the rest of the week. Temperatures are going to be right around average or even just a little bit below. Mostly sunny days out there in the low to mid 80s, and our nights are cooling down as well. So those overnight lows going to be really comfortably cool as we start our days. We'll see temperatures mostly in the mid 50s. Tony?
Thanks, Jim Boy. Lots going on. In case you missed it, 3 people have been detained in southeast Portland there along Burnside near 41st. That's a story that Amela has been following. We'll have more details from her coming up in a moment. In the meantime, that section of 217 northbound from I-5 to 99W already slow because of the road work there and the 1-lane situation. And then here along 84 coming inbound, we have a stalled vehicle blocking the right-hand lane. You can kind of make out the flashing lights there of the ODOT incident response vehicle. They've gotten that car over to the right-hand emergency lane. Can't see it because the overpass is there, but again, it appears that right lane is now open. However, still backed up to 82nd Avenue because of that situation. Kim and Shauna, back to you.
Thank you, Tony.
A police canine attacks an unarmed man during a routine traffic stop. Coming up after the break on Good Day Oregon, we'll show you the caught-on-camera footage of the attack. Activists are calling it barbaric.
Plus, a man drives off a cliff and lands in a canyon hundreds of feet below. See how his iPhone helps save his life.